Hello, hello. Welcome in. We are back with more of the letter today. So last time when we left off, we finished off Isabella's story. We left her alone under a desk in her office being chased by our lovely little demon friend. And we are now playing as Hana, the rich white bitch that pisses me off sometimes, but also doesn't piss me off sometimes, so we'll see. Maybe we'll grow to like her when we start playing as her and see things from her perspective. Who's to say? Who's to know? I guess we'll figure it out. It is far too easy to get them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile, if we are honest. And a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am...
Hana Wright!
Hello, that was... Alright. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He is more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I'm quite sure I only invited his wife. Much like I am only friends with the Chief Inspector because of Luke, Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for the Lee matriarch. It was an odd sort of friendship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N, I think. I might be wrong. Aside from being Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police, his wife Rochelle Lee née Vance owns a general electronics company, fridges and freezers mostly.
Oh, I always have time for my favourite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight.
Sure, you're married. I'm also married. I'm friends with your wife. Excuse you. I don't like this. I don't like this man.
I see the husband isn't with you.
That means nothing. Go away. The way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. I just wish Luke is here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets and getting close just because my husband isn't here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. In my own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here?
Shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor. The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with a doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
Oh, and your wife is pregnant and you're over here hitting on me. Okay. We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, is that word? I've been extracted from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He is a nice enough person and I adore his wife, who is obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. I do not trust him as much as I want to. The chief of police? That's, it should be a trustworthy role, but... He regales to me tales of the Luxborn Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I am privy to, and though I loathe to admit, is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the mutant chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked it in the garage.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He is a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. Hi, how are you? Hi, Amelia. I'm good, how are you? Welcome in. A lifetime if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Do you stream daily? I do not. I stream twice a week. Typically, I try to shoot for Tuesdays and Fridays. I wish I could do it daily, but I work and I'm in school, so I cannot. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't.
Well, that feels a bit rude, but okay. You'd like to see some of my artwork that I make for streamers? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm good. Thank you, though. I do all of my own artwork, so I'm not in need of commissioning anyone. Thank you, though.
But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
Ew, downtown? No, thank you. That's way too much people. Way too much traffic.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife.
Oh, good lord.
I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale. Or that something mansion, you know the one with all the ghost stories.
Do we only really want the mansion because we don't want him to have it? Is that why we're so set on it? This is interesting. I know what he is talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's
The Ermengarde mansion?
Ermengarde, I thought it was.
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that will be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Oh, see, she's got a good head on her shoulders. Zach was talking about a priest.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace.
Oh, this is where we get Marianne's information. Okay.
She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom. I think I have a business card No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name? Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Oh, this is why we want it, because we'd be the envy and the talk of the town. Not because he wants it. We want it. He also wants it. We probably want it so that he doesn't get it, and so that, you know, because we're just rich white people, that's what we want.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As it is, I only invited about 30 people to this one, and it already feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's words and not mine. Besides, I've been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? October 21st, Friday. Who is this person? Okay. Luke is dressed to the nines, as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side just in case he isn't as ready as he looks. Oh sure, that is normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he is on his way out of the penthouse, considering we don't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this.
So he's rude to her in private, but nice to her in public? It's seeming kind of rude right now.
This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere. You know how I operate, Hana. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis. And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
Oh, our husband's an alcoholic. He did. Moaned about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance.
Who's Gordon Bennett? What the fuck? Do we just use names instead of like fuck? We could swear, it's fine.
But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
Yeah, I don't like Luke. It's just a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as they seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it has been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad tasting.
Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong. Girl, you're still young. Divorce him and get out. divorce him and get out. Actually, I could do it for you. Not the divorce, but I could get rid of him for you, considering I'm playing God in this game and I'm having to keep you all alive. We can just kill Luke. It's fine. He doesn't have to stay around. If he's gonna keep treating you like an asshole, we can let the fucking Grudge have him. Like, he would be a tasty sacrifice for her, and maybe she'd leave everyone else alone. Oh, fuck. I hit my fucking scroll reel.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff...
Certainly any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Why must he treat me this way? Jimmy, where are you? You're late and you have my answers. So we have to keep Hana alive. We could kill Luke. Luke doesn't matter, but we're not playing as Luke. We're playing as Hana. I'll have to look this up myself. A streamer doing her own work because her mods aren't around? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Never said I was late with the option to pick his defense. You didn't say hi. I didn't know you were here. You just lurking silently in the background. I thought I was floundering here all alone. My apologies. Thank you for being here and for helping me. So you're listening to me, right? We could kill Luke. Killing Luke is an option, right? Do you have that? Write that down somewhere. Defend myself.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
Yeah, Hana, you stand up for yourself. Hi, Elvish.
I'm ecstatic. Understood?
We are going to have a good day.
And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed.
Okay.
We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
That's right, scold him like the little child that he is. A fucking little bitch. Rich white people piss me off. Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply before he crosses his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
Why, yes, actually, now that you've asked.
No wine.
No wine?
Gasp.
Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Johannes is really not on Luke's side today.
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor!
The ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion and I see his eyes light up in genuine interest, apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated and, with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxborn certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel. Oh, we actually get to see her now! Oh, she's so cute! Look at her! What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she's panicking over some sort of prank letter or another.
Dear me, is Isabel all right?
It is apparent with the way she shakes and by the pallor of her skin, something has really shaken her up.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I am worried, but it will be best if she is attended to by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offered drink and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
And she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows like a concerned mother. There's an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman, Rose, to return and pull us aside into the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, the last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he's no doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it! Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
Exactly! Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup. Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I am making her job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, you'd think the woman would be more than happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents worked, how long they had to wait, and how much they had to spend even just for a single sale. Why, she should be jumping for joy by now. I'm sure the commission on this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split it with that Isabel girl.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
I.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
helicopter pad.
Helicopter pad. I pause. And there's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stare incredulously at Luke. It is an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we have to put on and act. With our social standing, where image matters, it is also important to avoid making enemies. And to follow this rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other hand...
Wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. As he throws me a wry smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is to be our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and at the same time, of safety and comfort. Perhaps we can even have our family here. There is definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Well, except for that ugly painting in the study. So she sees the Grudge in the painting. Is it an actual painting of the Grudge, or is it just the Grudge in the painting? It looks like a bad fake of an Edward Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price.
Is it a painting or is it a mirror? And we're just seeing her reflected in it. Because if it's this that's right here on the side, that looks more like a mirror and not a painting. Because, like, that's a painting. I don't see anywhere else a painting could be. I mean, maybe behind us where we're not looking. But if it's, like, pertinent to the plot, I would say this it might be what she is referring to. And that definitely looks more like a mirror than a painting.
If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion project forward.
Please do.
There is a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project, then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out.
Johans, okay.
You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
That's a mirror. And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression. I knew it!
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
For the next choice, choose free up my schedule to improve Hannah's relationship with Marianne. All right. Or perhaps maybe I should free up my schedule. She's gonna want to know our tastes and how we want to do things.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
We're so busy. Such busy little social butterflies. What the fuck else are we doing? We're rich. We don't do anything.
I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house has a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather, the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then! It's a date.
It's really not.
Alright, Monday, 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. Cardiff. I don't know why that word was so hard. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
His portraits make him look sinister, but like when he's in the center here, he does not look sinister, so I am confused about what is happening. I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh, that time of the year already?
He forgot about it last year, too. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea. Water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there were always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on a beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
Oh, she's giving up on her dreams.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
And he has to go and make it weird.
Maybe another time, love.
Just get a pool or a hot tub.
We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horribly fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens. Is this the demon? We're pregnant. It's either the demon or we're pregnant.
Hana, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. How many fancy words do rich white people have for a toilet? Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I've had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time. But I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Aww. Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it?
He's taking care of her! I wasn't expecting him to do that. Maybe we don't kill Luke. Maybe their love blossoms over the course of us buying this mansion and I spare his life as the benevolent god that I am. I believe the next choice will happen after this chapter ending, but I think it depends on whether you showed the letter last chapter. Okay.
I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. This scene happening next to a loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though, as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
Also, it's 3 in the morning. Why is he wearing a suit and she wearing a dress? Don't they... Where's the pajamas? Where's the comfort? When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my throat, and I forget whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed. October 26th, Wednesday. Oh, this is 5 days later.
Come on now.
Oh, wait, when did Rose die? Hold on. Okay, Monday the 17th. Yeah, we met this dude. Right, so the 21st. Okay, so this is Isabel's and her journal. It's combined together. Okay, so their anniversary happened. When did Rose die? Rose died the night of the 23rd, and today is the 26th. Okay. Okay. Right, okay. I got it. I'm picking up the pieces. We've got more information about Hana. I wish it would tell me what is new, because I can't actually read this. She's seen the letter, though. Look, the letter's here. It's in the journal. That's kind of creepy. Oh, well, Luke proposed to her when her parents died. I can read that. It's a strained marriage, but she's doing what she can to make it work. Okay, so this is like 3 days after Rose died, and they're in, I guess they got the paperwork done, because they're in the house renovating. The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
Rich people are so funny. I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing out of place, one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let Johannes and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
I like Johannes. He's great. He's a spicy butler, and I like him. He knows how to handle Luke. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. Oh, it's so pretty in here. Aw, I like that. I am definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hana. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
Well, that's not what she's saying. She just likes to see you passionate.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sorts of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time, as of late. And I can only see it as signs of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. Oh, Luke doesn't want kids and she does. Oh, it's gotta be tough. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Yeah, he does not need to have kids. Hana, I really hope that that was just the demon possessing you and not that you're pregnant. What should I say? You'll be a great father or apologize for bringing it up. Jimmy? Jimmy, help. This is what I think it is. Choose. You'll be a great father to improve your relationship with Luke. Okay, great. Yeah, we gotta butter him up. He's just scared. He's scared of being a dad. Maybe he didn't have a good childhood and he doesn't want to turn out like his parents, and he's, obsessively controlling at work because every little thing has to be perfect. And having a child, every little thing is not going to be perfect, and he can't lose that control. He's scared. He's just a scared man. But he'll be a great father. Because we're gonna fucking whip his ass into fucking shape while we're playing as Hana. We're not gonna let this... He's gonna be a man by the time we're done with him.
Kylie likes you well enough.
Who's Kylie? The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. Oh, he would be such a girl dad, though. He would be such a girl dad. But then, sometimes it's sad, and it makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard. Yeah, that's what I thought. Men need some therapy. Men needs a therapist.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody, and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great. But if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day.
That is true. I would rather be an auntie than a mom. Actually, I'd rather be a grandma, but you have to be a mom to be a grandma. So auntie is what we have to settle for here. Because then you could just ship them back home. You play with them for the day, and when you're done, they go home to mom and dad.
Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I've never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father, even before I met him. Or before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the Enterprise. It was then that news of Luke Wright, prodigy son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I've never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
There's a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. He's just nervous. He's just a nervous guy. Something had to have happened in his childhood to make him the way that he is. And nothing solves traumatic childhoods better than ghosts. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. Part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. Okay. I was hyping him up over here, Hana, and now you're over here like, he's not a good man. He's not an honest man. Why did... the rich people, man. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
On the other hand, I have never heard of his mother. A silence settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. There is familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that had transpired. Defenses and masks down, without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in this quiet. Oh, but a crash from downstairs startles us both out of our reverie. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure.
He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving while I lay there in a daze. Alone, as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I have rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried into the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite daffodils stands out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. It's Zach! He is hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase that he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a peculiar sight seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed, but it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work.
Okay, next choice involves Zachary. Choose stop it to improve your relationship with him. Alright, thank you very much.
Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah! If I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then.
Zach is so fun.
Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright. Hannah.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruits, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs little preparation with its grand design. Although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Johans kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on, touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I just realized this. Today is the 26th. On the 24th was when we left Isabella alone in her office with the demon. So it's been 2 days. And Zach is here and acting fine. So Isabella's gotta be alive and fine, right? And if she is, you know, not dead, because we did everything that we could to keep her alive, what did she tell everybody else that happened? Because Zach is like totally, completely, perfectly normal with being up in this haunted ass mansion, unless he is deathly afraid and he's just really good at being professional. But also, there are probably like a few other photographers, clearly, as she said that she worked with a team before the last time she had pictures done with a magazine that worked for this magazine. So Zach probably could have passed the job off on someone else unless he like really needed the money. I guess we'll figure it out if I just, you know, keep playing the game. But I have questions. I have to know everything right now. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and exposure when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft, such as this, is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Oh, look at us, we're so pretty on the stairs. Despite that, he has been so nice, and I find myself putting on my best smile. But it is as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It was merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. Ah! His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face, gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there is a light sheen of sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach? Is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all.
Okay, now we're fumbling. Now he believes Isabella and the demon.
Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops. And everything starts again as I manage to choke out.
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there is an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Maybe I've been out of line sticking my nose into other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so, as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates. But when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Blue Fonzie. I can't pronounce that. Yeah, I don't speak French. Those are words that I don't know. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks with the passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. Prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general still being treated like second-class citizens. All because of the color of their skin. It is all just positively riveting. And sad. It comes to a point wherein he loses some steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he has just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
I want to say that I understand where he's coming from. But I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I've lived a charmed life. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pale in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared were it any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any lesser?
What was your home like? these things you talk about, it sounds like you've... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around. But a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and the stolen item is not a pencil but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
Oh, you went through all this trouble for the house and it's just nice? Hana, what's up?
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that...
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents, just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were headed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us. And there's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
He certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large and extravagant. And just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde Mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, The Darkest Hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite.
Okay, Hana's really growing on me.
What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's being busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
No, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry. But I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It has been too long since I've had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met, Zachary is the sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around. A bit too comfortable. The photo shoot went by a breeze. And somewhere along the way, as we talk and laugh, I find myself getting a bit too close without realizing. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agreed to do his little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't that odd. That's how I am. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would be absolutely welcome. Anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. Jesus Christ. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind, but he is a big boy. He should be able to handle me. All it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, and gentle swaying of the hips as I move around. Hana, are you trying to seduce him? You're a married woman. Hana, I just said you were growing on me. Zachary grew and grew, more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having a playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least, that's how I see it. Did I miss drama? The ads got me distracted. So, Hana is being flirty. You know, she's a married woman, but she's being flirty with Zach, and it's making him flustered, and she seems to be enjoying herself a little too much about it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? I'm not sure if I want to, though. Ah, stop it. Be respectful.
I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie.
Sorry.
No, I should be the one apologizing.
That's right, Hana. Don't make the man uncomfortable. He is a giant golden retriever.
Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy?
It's not that, but...
He gestures to the ring on my finger and lets the fact of the matter hang heavily between us. Yeah, he's a good, respectable man. He ain't gonna be the side piece. He knows you a married woman. Being told implicitly that I am too forward is not a common occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact that he pointed it out rather than, well, being rejected. Not that anything is going to happen between us in the first place. It was just going to be harmless flirting, right?
So, you've never had a girlfriend?
No. No boyfriend either. You know, just in case you were gonna ask for that one next.
And you haven't even had your first kiss?
Not a one, ma'am.
Do you want to have your first kiss today?
Hana! I can't help it. I really, really can't, and I'm going to apologize lots later. Surely, by the catty smile on my face, it's obvious that I'm just pulling his leg. The laugh I fail to contain certainly gives it away, if it's not obvious. But still, he lights up in embarrassment, stammering and sputtering objections.
You're married, and this will be extremely unprofessional.
I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johans!
God, you're gonna get Johans in this.
No, what? No. Don't call your butler. She's Hana.
That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man. I do not think he can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend will be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs. Wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
You can? Oh my, wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I can find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself.
let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta be going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be.
A shame. I will be expecting you again soon, I hope. For a copy of my photographs, yes?
Course, I'll even deliver them personally. Just, you know, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I drop by.
As fate would have it, the very moment the words leave his mouth, Johannes comes out of the house. Judging by the slight raise of his brows, he has heard only the tail end of the sentence.
There shall be no kissing of any butlers under this roof, Danke.
But you are not under a roof, are you, Hansi?
To my amusement, he takes a step back, safely placing him within the threshold of the foyer and under the roof of the house. And just as ever, he is quick to return with a sardonic reply.
I am now.
I love Johannes. He's so fun.
As I was saying, madam, it's about time for supper. Will I be needing to set an extra place at the table?
Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So, you have a good night, Hana. And you too, Hansi.
It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. You have a safe trip.
He nods, and the grin on his face, as we say our goodbyes, is the sweetest that I have ever seen. I linger, looking out for him with his relatively tiny bicycle, backpack safely secured in the basket by the front and suitcase hooked to the back. I watch as he went down the path back to Anslem village until he is nothing more than a blip on the horizon. I cannot help the small smile on my face as I go inside for supper. All right. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment, I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there is the distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me, and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there is a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
What are you drinking that is green? There, at the end of the hall, is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let go if it's only one glass of wine. Another important choice coming up to improve your relationship with Luke. Choose I was tending the gardens. Yes, don't tell him we were flirting with the photographer. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me. What is he drinking?
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe?
Absinthe? Jesus Christ, man!
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself?
At her face, she's pissed.
Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car!
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much.
Yep, as every alcoholic does.
You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hana, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Hit him with the car. Let the grudge have him. Kill him. Kill him. I'm done. Kill him. Grudge, he's yours. Jimmy? if we didn't have to butter his ass cheeks to keep Hana alive, I would be a bitch to him. I would so be a bitch to him. Oh, that's disgusting behavior. I don't like him one bit. Nope. He goes up and then he goes right back down. Every time.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Tending the gardens. What's it gonna be? Should I tell the truth or tell a little lie? We'll tell a little lie because he's being an asshole.
I was just tending to the garden, sweetie.
You love your little daffodils.
You were?
Huh? You were? For a moment, he looks skeptical. I can tell by the gleam in his eyes and the way he sits up in attention. He thinks I'm lying. But I see no point in bringing up Zachary and aggravating him. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. Just a little white lie. Besides, I know just how to please him. Sauntering over and circling around him, I place my fingers on his shoulders. Okay, I don't know. We don't need that. We don't need that. Nope. He lets out a little groan before melting like butter as I massage his shoulders. I don't need those noises.
I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favorite daffodils.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I'm not sure if he means the massage or the flowers, but I'll take it. This is better than a fight.
So, absinthe.
Just one glass, Loosh.
I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway, you've already drank half the thing.
Yeah, I'll just take the other half and pour it down the sink.
But remember your doctor's orders.
Yes, I'll try to drink less.
Try.
You will, or you'll be dead. Like, those are your options. Drink less or die.
Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one?
No, thank you.
Supper is spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. A platter of native oysters for starters and tranche of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. To finish it all off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of night, I sit in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There is no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. To remind myself that this place is for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it looks like someone is having a cry already. Yeah, the wailing is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Do we not have a maid? He's got a butler. Where's our maid? Who is that? Ah! Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sound into the kitchen. And into the wine cellar hatch. Oh, do we go into the cellar? Do we go into the cellar?
Hello? Is anybody down
I am curious and concerned, but there is no way I'm going down into a dark and humid underground. You know what? Hana would actually survive in a horror movie. She's like, I hear you. I am concerned. However, don't open the hatch. We are not going down into the basement. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. As professional as our staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it was either Johans or I who'd calm them down, who'd help them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I am not in high spirits right now, so I'm not as wholly benevolent. So I will... Don't open the hatch, so we call them out. Okay. Don't open the hatch. We will do a playthrough, though, eventually, where I open the hatch. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna save this. I'm gonna save that there. And I'm also gonna save that right there, so that eventually I could just load the file right here and open the hatch and see what happens. Because that's gonna be fucking hilarious. But for the sake of story consistency, we are not going to open the hatch. Got an ad right now, give me a minute. Okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna listen to the crying, and we're going to wait. Because we're not... If everybody's got ads, we're not missing this. You know what? Get some water, get a snack. I think I'll hydrate, actually, while we do this. The crying, though, is going to kill me. She needs a... You know, she's down there with all the wine. Just have a glass, girly. Like, it's fine. You'll be fine. It'll be all good. Okay, I'm back. All right. Are we ready? We're going in, but not going in. I knock 3 times. Waiting for any sort of reply yields me no results, and I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I'd like. I take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever's inside. I've learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than threats. Shouting angrily would not help in coaxing them out.
You, in the cellar, do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still nothing.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes?
Where is Johans?
Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
With how long I am standing here, however, I am starting to think myself as a fool. I did not want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. The thought of being played with didn't sit too well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand clamps down on my shoulder. The dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest. But the touch is gone as quickly as it had seized me. It is only Johans I see when I look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I was... I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
There is no crying woman. He grows silent for a moment and just looks concerned. At least, I'd like to interpret it as concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern, as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his hand at my forehead before his worrisome inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar. Can't you hear her?
Madam Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys. Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no crying. Tugging at the hatch for a good measure proves his words to be true, too. The thing won't budge unless I had a key, short of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience.
Perfectly normal human experience.
But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
There is a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? Aw, he used to be a doctor? Perfect. I am just tired, that's it. Long day of moving, the interview, dealing with Luke, that has all drained me of my proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right.
Yeah, very full of himself. Duh, of course I know what I'm talking about.
Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
It's just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there is something wrong with this house, or there is something wrong with my head. I mean, it's haunted! The rumors, it's haunted. Remember those? Sleep will be elusive tonight. Friday, 2 days later. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. Or was this the next day? What? I don't know. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today, of all days, is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright mansion. Every person of importance from Luxbourne is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important, regardless of their status in society. Mary Ann and I discuss business and last-minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there is much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Luke and I had a small riff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he had to acquiesce. Acquiesce? I didn't give him any choice in the matter. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. To improve your relationship with Marianne, choose be honest with me. All right, thank you. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right then. Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to whine about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them, really. Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones like Rochelle Lee. But put your trust in the wrong person and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I am being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow makes me unsure whether she is interested or not. Although that does make things better if she has no interest and therefore has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her.
You know what they say about a lie? Sprinkle a little bit of truth in it.
Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Be honest with me. Do I want her to be honest? Yes.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it. I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it, she simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. But then, she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask, this is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think. Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We've put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hasn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It is a necessity to her career, and she's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place.
Another breakers. I think there's only one major choice left in this chapter. Nice, okay.
We shouldn't let our fear control our lives. But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me want to start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. What the fuck is a choral anniversary? But 7 years? 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years... Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to, anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these little disagreements, will turn into an all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. We can get through this, right? I know that I still do love him, and I feel that there is still a part of him that loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he will see some sense. There is a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure on how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
Busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Ah, rich people. The scene outside the parlor is a great organized mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Wright Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves carrying crockery and serverware good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar, to peruse the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails.
Johannes.
Snails are for the dishes.
A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floral decor worth thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. An ice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair. It is followed by a simple cake, just a 5-tier white chiffon one with white chocolate, mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. I'm sorry, simple? Simple, just 5 tiers. It's so simple. Rich people, man. But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have our discussion running in my mind, and looking at all of this, I only see Luke everywhere. There are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering with only a select few invited, namely the people who I would actually trust to enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed Luke right. And I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. Where did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I still am today, but it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. I had insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There was the calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison and public relations, supervision of staff, and... well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looked for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke, oh Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, where we talked about everything and anything. From big things like business, society, and philosophy, to little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who will always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children, and to take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't hurry.
Cars line up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand tours, supercars, even the odd high-end muscle car or two, convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it's too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxborn. So far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Please make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm, if not strange, sunshine we are experiencing before gloomy skies inevitably return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power, the ties that bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Such as that young man with his oriental air, ignorant of the looks he receives from women and men alike. What is Ash doing here?
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Or that rose-haired woman talking on her phone while she looks unsure of why she is here exactly. What is Rose? Becca! Rose is dead. What is Becca doing here? Who's Shirley? I'm gonna have to leave soon. Want me to give you the last choice? Yeah, and we'll probably wrap it up when this day ends too. So just my throat's getting a little hoarse. But what are Ash and Becca doing here?
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. He talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. Yeah, and the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
I had invited Father Norman, too. It's the least I can do after he blessed the mansion on my request, aside from my small donation to the church, of course. So the mansion has been blessed by a priest, and it did not work. The ghost demon is still here. But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day. The demon got him! And then there are people like the chief inspector. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see?
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
That's all parties are for, is gossip. I'm looking at this right. To improve your relationship with Luke, choose I need to work for my happy ending. Okie dokie.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing. Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches.
Officer Lee, more like Officer Hypocrite.
Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead.
Are you sure?
The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually.
3?
Michelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out. Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Think I should go now. Good luck with the chapter. Okay, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out and for helping.
Still no plans for a baby? I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him, no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them. As the first hour passes by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn into the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to now. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. You make sure your guests are well fed, have good company, and have them generally enjoy themselves. So when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly unless I am pulled aside. For a while, I stay with a small group and entertain them before excusing myself. And when they are not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more than to make music. One of our hotel managers worry about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing in security which should be brought up to higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. Then there is that rose-haired woman once again. It is hard not to notice her with her distinctive locks. She also lacks the grace that the other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the air she exudes, instead, are strong, and they make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach, intrigued, although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, with the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I am here for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and it is a wonder he doesn't hear what I say. No, he heard you. He's just ignoring you. He's in love with Isabella. Nothing you say means anything to him.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend, then? Because that would explain those rejections.
She wants him to be. In all my life, I have never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair did not help as well. This is the most pink I've seen on a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
Ah, yes you have.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter, currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It is chilling, and though I am used to enduring the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Aha! Hi! Hello! My attention is pulled from the girl and I see a woman staring. Dark-haired and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks out into a grin. All I hear is her laughing. Taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I am nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement. It makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But then, in a blink, she's gone and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you all right?
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light. Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
The name is familiar, like a fond memory. I recall a kind lady, a private tutor who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She'd even bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stovies, which I honestly hadn't been too keen about, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Becky.
But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses! And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
Ash, still, even back then?
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Going through every A name. The more I list off names, the more red and the more quiet Becky gets. She starts to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I have triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Anna's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky.
I have hot gossip on you, so we're friends now.
Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
There is a grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what, 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress or the pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all of that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, as if it's some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Though looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something good at that time, even enough for her to take it to heart? But all that didn't matter in the moment as I mull over what she's just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There is no time to ponder over that, however, as a hush descends upon the once lively crowd. The music of strings and the chatter slows to a grinding halt as the doors from the foyer opens. The last of the latecomers should have arrived moments ago. And anyone else this late would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. So this can only be one person, or rather, one man. There is only one man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks. How they listen, enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, a little smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he is not to be a businessman, he'd do well as an entertainer. I love this side of him, especially when he looks at me and he beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second is wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and I make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
There is a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she is dangerously close, with fury in her eyes, and she's already spitting venom. Johannes restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. Is this Rochelle? But that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an emptied glass of wine in her hand. How much has she imbibed in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can do is focus All I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on her breath. I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers, at least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she'd endanger her own baby by drinking. There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient, if tight, smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
I am just about to ask that exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens.
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk! That's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad! Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility.
What? Excuse me? I mean, I could have called it. I really was about to before she said that. Excuse me?
God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What? What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
Yeah, she desperately wants a baby. Luke is the one that keeps telling her he doesn't want a baby.
Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
It is now that Johans returns with security along with a concerned-looking Officer Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man.
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol. Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? Yes, that's right. There's no way that what Rochelle says is the truth. What she says doesn't match up. I know Luke. If such a scandalous meeting are to be arranged, he won't do it in such an exposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. Yeah, definitely not the flowers. And he definitely won't promise responsibility over a child unless it can be helped. Besides, Luke will never. He will never go so far as to sleep with another woman, right? Okay, fine. Who am I kidding? If I am to be completely honest with myself, he might cheat. With a bit of temptation and a bit of alcohol, he just might. And doesn't that just make my blood boil to even think of the slightest possibility of infidelity? Lee isn't too far off when he told me how Luke still acted like some young hotshot bachelor. It starts to make me think I need to work for my happy ending. Becky's words are still fresh in my mind. And I can't help but think that the girl, plucky woman that she is, has a point. If I love Luke, I'll have to fight for him, don't I? I mean... If he's cheating on you, no, girl, walk away. Walk the fuck away right now. But if he's not cheating on you, and you feel like you can, you know, save the marriage, work for it. But if he doesn't change, you gotta walk away. Like, don't stay in something that's not gonna change. But if he's cheating, whack him over the head with a hot pan of grits and walk away. So far, I've been doing nothing and sitting on my behind, hoping it'll fix itself. This whole mess definitely isn't going to fix itself. My grandpa has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the zoo. Oh, Jesus Christ. What an introduction. How dare that woman try to drag our name and our relationship through the mud with her lies. And at my own party. I thought Rochelle was like your best friend, too. Bad first message? No, that was great. Thank you for the follow. That's so fun. I love things like that. That is so fun to read. Determination fires me up as I take a step forward into the middle of the fray. All the while, she's been screaming. I signal for security to stop, and I can already feel the glower on my face as I stare into hers. She wilts as soon as she sees me. She starts to grow anxious, and her protests die down. I can see as her haughty, angry expression turns into a horrified realization. Well, I hope your day is as amazing as your smile and as joyful as your eyes. Oh, wait, thank you. You're so sweet. Rightfully so, she should be scared. What is that thing they say again? Never wake a sleeping dragon? They often think that Luke is the one in charge, that he is the one to be feared and appeased. They think me as only the pretty wife. They forget that I am just as capable, just as worthy of respect.
I invite you, my friend, into my house on a day of merriment. And you insult my name and accuse my husband of infidelity. What have I ever done to make you treat us with such disrespect? You are no longer welcome in any of our estates, our properties, and our businesses. And we will no longer patronize yours.
Yeah, no more washing machines, or whatever the fuck her family sells.
Now, escort the girl and make sure she isn't standing even an inch within our grounds.
Yeah. Upon a day, he keeps the haters away. I do have a win pun, but it blows. I am here for puns and dad jokes. She looks devastated. Reasonable. This does make her into a pariah, doesn't it? I should feel concerned, but I can't find even an inkling of mercy within me. I don't know what her plan was. I don't know what she wanted to make out of this. The money? Luke? It doesn't matter what she wanted.
You won't show your face to me ever again if you know what is good for you, Rochelle. Take her away.
The tension is thick in the air.
I have a joke for you, but it's terrible.
That's funny. It's terrible. That is so fun. The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is so set that one can practically hear a pin drop. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, but they all know this is well within my right. She is the one who started this whole dilemma. It just so happens that I'm the one ending it. As long as everyone holds their tongue and doesn't interfere, none of the consequences matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in his eyes. It almost seems as if he's proud of what I have done, and that spurs me on more than anything. Nonetheless, I still act upset because this does not change what just happened. He still has a lot to answer to. Because even if the woman is lying, there is always an inkling of truth in every lie. So when I turn on him to say that the shock he displays brings me gratification is an understatement. Of course, there is no reason to make a husband and wife spat into a public spectacle. Some privacy will generate the least number of headaches and complications. Everyone is still far too busy in the ballroom, and most of the staff are still in the kitchen. A sharp glance at anyone who will go through the doors is all it takes to make them retreat. And the most private we can get without me dragging Luke all the way to our bedroom is the foyer.
And you. We are going to talk about this, Lucille Mitchell-Wright.
His name is Lucille.
Not now, but we will talk about this.
Right! I swear that is not my child, no matter what that woman says! Hana, darling, you believe me, don't you?
I believe that it isn't your child. But you never said that you did not cheat on me with her. We'll have a talk about that tomorrow, among other things.
What for?
It's like a scared little child now.
What other things?
About us, Luke. This isn't right, this doubting each other and not talking. That's why we'll talk. If anyone needs me, I'll be in our room. I'm in no mood to be talking with anyone about anything, especially nosy baggers who have no business with any of it.
Should I be worried? Scared?
Are you filing for divorce?
Because you know threats do not work with me, Hana.
None of those. You should know I'm not your enemy, Luke. I need rest. That's all.
Of course, you must be so tired. You've earned some peace. I'll take over the party from here.
Good night, love.
Good night, Buttercup.
Sometimes I forget that leaving Luke to handle a party is a horrible idea. Yeah, probably a very horrible idea. But since it is the next day and we've been doing this for a while and my throat is getting sore and tired, we are probably going to call it here. I don't know. I mean, judging from Isabella's chapter, I would say we're probably about halfway through the chapter if they're around the same length. So this would be a good stopping point. We haven't hit like the climax of any creepy things happening really, just a little spooks here and there. But Hana is completely ignoring, you know, the grudge stalking around her house and doing weird things. Whereas Isabella was wholly distraught and terrified of the mess that was happening. But I say this is a good spot to call it for sure. And I have to remember we have that save file to find out what happens if we open the hatch. Because I'm pretty sure if we open the hatch and we go down in there, we would just die. Like, just point blank, just be dead. I should have saved during Isabella's route. Right before we made the decision to go to work. Because then we could have replayed through that too. We're doing a try to keep everyone alive run, although Luke is really getting on my nerves, so he is still to be determined if we want to keep him alive or not. Who knows, maybe when we play his route, we'll get inside his head and we'll understand why he ticks the way he does and why he's a fucking asshole sometimes, but... And then maybe we'll replay and do an everyone dies run. I mean, we have to replay it multiple times to get the true ending, apparently, so... There's lots of endings, and they all interconnect with each other somehow, so... I've been trying to avoid too many spoilers about what happens, but... There's multiple endings. And there's a true ending that you cannot get unless you have experienced several of the other endings. So... With that being said... Let us take a gander and see. First, we'll return to the main menu, and then we'll take a little look-see and see if anybody is live that we can go raid. And being that it is just a random Tuesday afternoon and we are ending stream earlier than we usually do, none of my friends are on for us to go raid. Big stink. But we have been ending these streams a little sooner because of all of the reading. It just makes my throat tired, which, like, it's fine. That's standard. I'm enjoying doing this. This is really fun for me. And the fact that it's like half voice acted does make it easier, which is great. But yeah, we will be back shooting for Friday again, same time. Thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you all had a good time, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.